look, a pleasure to finally meet you. You know, I guess digitally. You know, this is the norm nowadays. You know.
Definitely, yeah, it's always good to connect.
Yes, sir. So how's it going over there on that side?
It's good. I mean, we've had really crappy weather for the past week, but we've got 70s this weekend.
Oh, okay.
And then back down to 50s and 40s. So
I remember when you posted the snow. Oh no.
Yeah, that was too early.
We're not ready. No, we don't want it. We don't want it.
No.
All right. So I mean, man, this is going to be basically an expose for True Heads Clothing. You know, I saw the product one day. You know, my boy Bucky. He was always wearing this stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, man, where is he getting it? Like, is he making this shit? Like, where is he getting this shit from? And I was in love. And then I finally got to talk to him, and he told me, and I was like, I gotta get it. I got to. So, as you see,
yeah, so you all there.
Yeah, beautiful product, man. Like, I love it. And it evokes so much inside me. It triggers so much for me because of just the elements within the hat itself. Like, the fat shoelaces alone just automatically make me go hip hop.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially cats from our generation.
Oh yeah. And to let you know, so Bucky and I, we're starting to basically like a fan club, almost a members only club. It's the True Heads Clothing Preservation Society. So right now, for me, he's the president because he has way more hats than I do. I have to catch up, but yeah, we want to make this thing huge. Like, I mean, yeah, definitely. With my videos, you'll be seeing it every time. Like, I got to. It's just so much there. It's like it says everything.
Man, thank you. That really does mean a lot to me.
Look, you deserve it, man. So look, everybody's seeing you right now. You know, we're on here, being a light skinned brother from the UK. How did you, when and how did you find hip hop?
So my first encounter with hip hop was live. It was on the streets. There was this local breaking crew. This is about 84, 85. So they used to be in the city centre with their linoleum boombox. They had matching tracksuits with their name on the back, Master Blast Crew, which I just thought was, to me, that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. The music hadn't grabbed me quite by that time. I was really into reggae then. So it wasn't until 86 with Mantronics that I heard that bass line. And that sounded like the future to me. I was like, what the hell is this? So yeah, that was also the year of Run DMC and the Beastie Boys taking over. Yeah. Mantronics was definitely ahead of his time. Like, I love Mantronics. And then the artwork. Yeah.
The artwork I used to just stare at the album covers and just sit there and mimic the artwork. It was just, to me, that was hip hop. Like, for me, because I was from DC, and in DC, you know, we had our own music. We had go-go. So hip hop, when I found hip hop, it was just like amazing. And everything about hip hop I wanted to know, I wanted to study, and then I became what I am today. And hip hop has everything to do with that. So, with that being said,
same here.
Right. So, what influenced you or inspired you to create your designs?
So, the very first one I made, I just bought a new pair of Puma suedes, which is my go-to shoe. Came with a spare lace, and I was like, just got me thinking, like, I would love a hat to go with these new kicks. And yeah, dressing hip hop is always about coordinating, put together an outfit that has a complete. So okay, I'll just go online. I'll find one and I'll order one. Couldn't find them anywhere. So my wife, I told her what I was looking to do or what I was looking for. She's like, I've got some equipment I think you can use. So I made one for myself. And it was immediate everywhere I went. People were like, that hat, man, where'd you get that? It's the fat lace. People see that. Like, if you grow up in hip hop and you see a fat lace, like, it's a symbol.
Right.
You know what
exactly.
It is.
It's only one thing. It's only one thing it could be. Hip hop. That's it. And yeah, like Pumas were the go-to for me. We used to like get the bracelets with the spikes on them and pop those off of the bracelets and glue them onto the Pumas. Like, yeah, that was
Okay.
see, yeah, it might be something you need to add. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what hip hop style is about, though. It's like making something your own.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Your own spin.
Self-identification, like, and it came with everything. You know, you gave yourself your own name. You know, you had your own style. Nowadays, it's just, you know, that cookie cutter clone machine. You know, they just spit them out, and you know, it's no originality. And we understand nothing's new under the sun. But
yeah,
you know,
yeah, like Grandmaster Caz says, hip hop didn't invent anything. Hip hop reinvented everything.
Yes, I love that quote because that's what it is, and it birthed the culture. To me, it birthed the culture, but it also revealed something that was already there. It was just lying dormant. You know, it was that sleeping giant. They poked it too many times. Here's hip hop. So yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of hip hop, the creativity, the self-expression. So with that, what is your creative process like from start to finish when you do specifically these hats, because they're just awesome. I'm just going to say that, you know, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I see what you got going on in the background there.
Yeah. Come on now, like this is all I do. I mean, I watch that movie at least once or twice a month. maybe sometimes if it's a good month, once or twice a week. And I love that.
Yeah, that was kind of the template that we were working from outside of the US. Like I know Wild Star was launched in Japan before the US, and it introduced hip hop culture in a massive way. And that was their template. And for us, it was like watching Beat Street and Star Wars and Wild Star and saying, okay, this is how hip hop is done authentically in the US. Right. So this is what we try and emulate. Like, this is our foundation.
Those are masterpieces.
But we were separated from the surrounding culture because like we weren't living in America. So we didn't have like these big sprawling cities like that, especially not where I grew up.
Right.
So definitely made up our own at the same time.
And it was the same for us here, just being states away, you know, separated by a few states.
Yeah.
Hip hop was foreign to everybody. You know, here where I'm from, you would consider the Bama, or that would be, you know, the equal to a, you know, because you hang here, but you know, that would be you're a lame because you dealt with hip hop. I had high top fades, you know, sweatsuits. I was hip hop, you know, and I've always been that. And it's just a beautiful thing. There's nothing you can look at now that hasn't been influenced by hip hop. There's not a continent that hasn't been touched. There's not a person that hasn't been touched. So for me, it's just, like I said, it's a culture. It's something that we live by. What was the catalyst that changed the trajectory for? Well, actually, let's not even get there yet. Let's talk about your creative process. So when you're creating one of these hats, how do you start?
So generally it's just colors. I'm thinking about what colors go really well together, but a lot of the ones I do are themed. So let me just flip things around a bit here. So like this iconic Def Jam, the early maroon and silver logo, this classic colorway on Puma suedes, and then I've got maroon and silver.
That's beautiful.
And then like here I've got my nice Tribe Called Quest jacket.
Ooh. Oh, that's nice. Yes.
Yeah, I just picked this up, found it online. It's a low end theory one.
And then you just match the hat with it.
Yeah, of course not.
That's crazy. Yeah, I've seen some of the designs on the website. Yeah, and definitely I'm going to link all of that on the screen. But I see my man Eric B in the back there. Yeah, I was going to say stop. Yeah. You know what? I was saying stop flexing. You don't have to keep showing me all these albums.
That's my inspiration. It's like there's so much beautiful art in there.
So have you ever done music?
It means so much to so many people. So like the response that you gave when you saw the hat and you're like, that's the one. That one just, it does something inside of me. Like it brings back these dope memories.
Yeah, it's almost like having a childhood memory that's one of those memories that shaped everything. You know what I mean? Like, and when you get a trigger like this, and then for it to be so dope, you know, just the aesthetics of it. Like, because honestly, online when I first saw them, I thought the laces were going to be a lot larger for some reason. But then when I got it, it was like, it's the perfect dimensions. It's like, how did he do that? It's like hip hop. That's how he did it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I love it, man. So getting to that, what was the the catalyst that changed the trajectory for your designs? You know, when this thing took off, what was it that changed that?
It was getting connected with the National Hip Hop Museum in DC.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Bucky.
Okay, yeah. Shout out Buck. We're gonna talk about that a little later, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, so I was active with the Twin Cities chapter of Dilla Days. So we did an annual celebration of Dilla.
Okay, all right.
So I was tight with Tony Smith and Maureen. So Tony and Maureen from the Dilla Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Tony loves my hats. So Jeremy from the museum also knows Tony. Like, yeah, everyone's connected at some point.
Right.
So Jeremy,
degrees of separation.
I got family who live in the DC suburbs, so I was like, I'll pop in and I'll go in and check out the Hip Hop Museum, because they picked up a hat from me to put on display, which to me was mind blowing. That was like 2018.
That's amazing.
Like, damn, the Hip Hop Museum is like interested, so that was cool. I went to meet Jeremy and we just hit it off instantly. He's like one of my biggest promoters and fans.
Okay, all right.
He's doing like super important work with the Hip Hop Museum in terms of preserving the artifacts and the culture, and honoring the people that founded all of this, and like laid these foundations that everything's been built off of, making sure they get their respect.
Yes. And
are not seen as dusty.
Yeah, let's not talk about that, man. You know, yeah, like I said, I'm a veteran. I'm an old head now. I'm 50, so I've been doing this since I was, I can honestly say, since I was like 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah.
You know, solid. Like I got into b-boying first, did a little graffiti, you know, beatboxing, but then MCing, it was just my calling. So once I got into that, I actually got into producing, because when I used to go to studios here in DC, all of the producers wanted to give you a go-go track. Everything had a go-go feel, and I had nothing against go-go. I played with go-go bands, you know. That's how you grew up in DC. But for me, it was hip hop. I knew what hip hop was. I was exposed to it. I used to go to Jersey every summer, so I was exposed to it. Like I had cassette tapes that had Roxanne Shante and Bismarck doing Wash Your Body live at the Red Parrot, like shit like that. So I was exposed to it. I came home, I was breakdancing, like, and I've always been a big dude, but I was one of the best poppers and breakers anywhere. I could do suicides, whatever you wanted, I had it. So yeah, hip hop is just a big thing. You know, it's always it's not going anywhere. You know, when they used to use it as a passing fad, no, you were so wrong. I mean, so wrong. Yeah. So working with the Hip Hop Museum in DC, has that given you more exposure? Like, are you being seen by more of the hip hop community?
Oh, totally. Yeah, I've been blessed enough to be able to do work for like icons that I grew up and still listen to. So I've done custom work for Rakim, Grandmaster Caz, Cool D, Melly Mel, Slick Rick, Cool G Rap, and the list just goes on. The list
goes on and on and on.
And it still blows my mind, considering where I came up, like so distant from it.
Right.
And it was such an underground thing. There was this small, like there was probably 20 or 30 like hardcore people in the city I grew up in who were like really into hip hop.
Yes.
So I think the same as you.
It is. It's a similar story. You were just across the pond.
Yeah. So we grew up having to fight for space to like consume and enjoy hip hop in.
And it was always, you found pockets. You know, this radio station. We had radio stations that we had to hook up foil and antennas to get it at certain times. And, you know, like I said, you weren't cool if you were into hip hop. But now everybody and their mama wants to rap, make a beat. And I'm glad, but to me, it has to be some form of integrity. There has to be some form of skill level. You know, I'm not mad at the technology, but anybody can make a beat now. Anybody can make a hit beat or a hit song, you know, just because of the technology. But
and everyone thinks that they've done it.
Yeah, yes. And for me, it's about the soul.
Yeah. Your Facebook feed is just filled with people throwing their beats out. They're like, hey, check out this. It's fire. Like,
right. Yeah. Everything's fire, man. So now I know you work with the museum here. Tell me about Yuma.
Uma, the name was...
And I'm sorry, I was pronouncing it wrong. I was saying Yuma.
Yeah, that's what threw me a little. Don't worry, we're good. So, let me see, it was 2014, joined Universal Zulu Nation.
Okay.
So a local chapter in the Twin Cities, which to me was like, again, something that I'd never expected would come my way, but got invited to join. Through the work I've been doing with Dilla Days and also some social justice work that was hip hop focused. Joined UZN, which felt very special because it just gets referenced everywhere. And then like shortly afterwards, like 6 months later or something, all of the news broke about BAM. And then as a chapter, we separated from UZN, disbanded. So Uma was our response to that. It was those of us who were more committed to the social justice element and like the cultural aspect and giving back.
Right. And not focusing on that drama that was going on.
Yeah. And making sure that we weren't supporting an organization that was trying to marginalize and silence the victims.
Yes.
Especially
regardless of who it is, you know.
Yeah. So Uma was formed out of that. So that was kind of short-lived. Then Zulu Union came along, which was basically a bunch of chapters from UZN that separated, and we're like, no, we've got all of this history, but we cannot be affiliated with UZN anymore.
Okay. All right.
I've been involved with various like cultural organizations in the Twin Cities. I love living in the Twin Cities. It's really given me opportunities that I would never have had living in the UK. It's got a real dope hip hop scene.
I was gonna say, who are some of like the hot artists out there?
I mean, at the moment, I'm not too up on that. I know, like back in the 90s and the 2000s, up to like 2010s, it was run by Rhymesayers. So Atmosphere, Brother Ali.
And shame on anybody out there who's not rocking your stuff.
Oh man, I get a lot of love out here.
That you better, because we're gonna have to come out there if not. Like, yeah, the THC Preservation Society will come see you.
No, I get tons of love here, and a lot of it's good. I'm out at shows all the time. I do most of my sales are face to face. I'm at hip hop events.
Okay.
So I set up a pop up, and I engage with the music and engage with the people there. So
okay. So have you ever done anything other than the design work? Have you done music or anything like that?
No, I was never particularly musically talented. I tried breaking, but I was always like, I'm one of those kids who was the last to be picked on the team for any sport. I'm just really uncoordinated.
Even the breakdance crew, like.
I tried it. I hurt myself. I was like, yeah, that's best left to other people.
Right. I'll make sure they look fresh when they're doing it.
Yeah.
It's like with B Street, you know what I'm saying? Yo, Waymo's gonna give us these fresh new, you know what I'm saying? That's you. Yeah.
Yeah, my connection was always like being a collector and just honoring the culture and standing up.
So is that all hip hop or is it all different types of music?
About 95% hip hop.
Okay, nice.
The rest would be funk and reggae.
Okay. So I'm sure there's some classics in there. Like you probably got some real collector items in there.
Yeah, I'm happy with the collection. It keeps growing.
Okay. So who are some of the celebrities, public figures that are rocking your stuff right now?
My biggest and longest standing icon that I've always looked up to, Grandmaster Kaz.
GMC.
DX,
Shout out.
So actually, I can show you this right here. So I've known Kaz for about, what was that? So like 5 years now.
Okay.
4 or 5 years. So I booked him to celebrate the 45th anniversary of Cool Herc's party. So had a nice all elements event going on here. Had some walls up for graffiti.
Okay.
DJs, MCs throughout the night. Breakers. Yeah.
Wow. I know that was beautiful.
And Kaz gave a little historical presentation before the event as well. So before he got to rocking the mic and the turntable at the same time.
What? Oh man.
He was the first to do that proficiently.
So I'm sure there's footage of this.
Yeah, it's around somewhere. I'll track it down and make sure you get it.
Yeah, we got to see that. And would love, we got to get Kaz on, man. Like, like I would love to do a track with Kaz because for me, he was definitely an influence for me early, just knowing hip hop the way I did because he's always had a strong, commanding voice. You know, he was lyrical and nimble, but he had a strong voice. His voice. His sonics were always strong and straightforward, and that's always something that I prided myself on. And even Rakim being my idol, Rakim was so laid back, but I always likened my style to Rakim, just the way his wordplay and the way he flowed. But mine was just a little more aggressive. I just couldn't help it. But Rakim, yeah, man. I'll definitely be copping that Rakim gear. I definitely need I ain't no joke version.
Yeah, I got something actually on the way to me, be arriving this week with you in mind. So
okay, yeah, definitely.
I'll surprise you during the week.
Oh, definitely. I love surprises. So, what is next for True Heads Clothing?
Next, I really need to work on my website, so I'm getting that overhauled. I don't really do much online. I've got an Etsy store that, get some sales, but I really need to get myself out there more. Putting together we're going to call it the Boombox. We're putting together a curated bundle representing a bunch of different Twin Cities artists here.
Okay, nice.
So going to have some like graffiti art in there. Some clothing merch, some music. So that's going to be a nice exclusive bundle, just limited run of 10, doing that for the holidays. Make sure that, showcasing everything the Twin Cities has got to offer because it is a really thriving, like deep-rooted hip-hop scene here.
Okay, yeah, we're going to have to get all of that information and share it with everybody. So I guess let them know where they can find your designs, where they can go and cop everything. There's no question about going to do it, just go do it. But yeah, let them know where you can get everything. Yeah,
so True Heads Clothing, that's with a Z. True Heads with a Z, clothing.com. That's my website. And you'll find me on Instagram and Facebook at True Heads Clothing.
All right.
And on Etsy.
All right, on Etsy also?
Reach out. I love doing custom orders, as you know. I work.
Yeah. I'm definitely. Let me show everybody right now. This is what we got here. We got Pure Fire here on one side, and then we have my production name, Mr. Heat Miser, with my guy there. And then what's ironic about it is the color scheme fits. I'm not a big sports fan, but I always support the home team, and this just like. What else can you do? It fits perfect.
Yeah.
And then
we got the golden posters.
And this piece here, like I said, from one of my favorite movies, Wild Style. So yeah, definitely you got to go out there. You cop some. He got some for the ladies. There's something for everybody there. So, and then also, if you're lucky, when you cop, you also get some of these.
Is that still unopened?
I opened it.
Good.
I kept my word. And,
Good.
and yes, I had a hammer and a Vanilla Ice. No, those are like
you
the
guaranteed at least one of them. Yeah, but hopefully you got some other good stuff.
Oh yeah, definitely. I got to get me some Eric B and Rakim for sure. So yeah, so Neil, I really appreciate you. Oh, what's this? Oh man, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a whole nother segment on just your memorabilia alone, you know, because I see you have a lot to show there. Like,
no, I got just a few pieces. You really need to connect with Jeremy at the Hip Hop Museum.
Okay, definitely, we will do that. And so I just want to see one thing. What is that Eric B piece on the wall? It's behind you now. Yeah.
Oh, it's turned upside down.
Oh, it's so
yeah, it's a clock.
That's
I
crazy.
bought that from American Rakim when they did a show in the Twin Cities like 3-4 years ago.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. It's really funny. Look, it's right through his eye.
Right. I know there's got to be a product they just laugh at. Like that's part of their like funniest merch ever.
Yeah, I loved it. Couldn't resist.
Well, look, man, Neil, I really appreciate you spending time with us, man. Everybody go out and support and just support hip hop in general.
Most definitely.
Do it for the love. You know, that's why we do it. So from DC to the Twin Cities, I want to say peace, say thank you, man, and we'll talk soon.
All right, man. Peace.
All right, peace.
One love.
All right, one love.